Hello, I'm Jodie Johnston. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher and a recovering people pleaser and yes woman. So I wanted to just share a couple of key things that have helped me to manage people pleasing and to live in a much happier state. For my entire life since being a teenager up until my early 30s, my entire life has been built around people pleasing, um, keeping everybody happy. So it's been a chronic problem for me. And I think, it really changed as it does for people when there's some big life event, and it builds up and builds up until there's a point of, right, I can't continue like this anymore. So that's what happened with me. And I think for me, the main thing when that happened is that I just knew I couldn't continue like this, but I didn't really know what I needed. And I felt like all of my life, all aspects of my life needed attention and work. So I felt really overwhelmed and just didn't know where to start, completely lost. But the main thing that naturally I was drawn to was just stopping hiding and just starting to feel 100%. So I realised that I was just always just avoiding. So the main thing I did to start with was to just stop and sit down on my own in my bedroom, close my eyes and just feel. And then that's where meditation started. So just giving myself a few minutes, it felt good to just feel the anger, feel the hurt, feel the frustration. And over time, it's helped to make sense of the way I was living in life, the way I was interacting with others, and what might potentially need to change. But this took time. It wasn't just an overnight thing. I just started to think, this makes me feel good. I'm going to keep sticking with this. It takes a long time to change habits of a lifetime. So I started to prioritize meditation, and I did that by committing to getting up in the morning. I knew that was the only time that I could do it where it would be consistent, because as soon as the day started properly, it just runs away with you, and with the best intentions in the world, sometimes things can get in the way. So for me, a big game changer was setting my alarm for the same time every day, getting up, meditating before anything, focusing the mind, paying attention to what was going on, what was coming up, what might need attention. And then it made such a difference to how I interacted in the day. It didn't completely change me overnight, as I say, but I started to notice I'm feeling better. I feel a little bit more, I'm taking a little bit more control here. I'm considering, do I need my sixth coffee of the day? So it started to just help me to get momentum and to believe that I could actually change the way I was living. It was possible. And then from there, I started to take it a step further by writing in a diary after work. So either when I got in or just before bed, I'd give myself 15 minutes and I'd just think about the entire day. So this really gave me perspective, and made me realise that there was so much more that had happened in the day, other than the maybe one or two things that I was completely dwelling on and had allowed to consume me with guilt, regret, what ifs. So I'd start to think about, what happened at the beginning of the day. Oh, I felt really good because I meditated. Don't forget that was a really nice part of the day. Someone smiled at me down the street, said good morning. There was a really pleasant bus driver. I had a really nice lunch. So really just remembering that so many other things happened in the day gave me an appreciation for the bigger picture, and that it wasn't all as bad as it seemed. And that actually there were some really good things for me to focus on, as well as dwelling on the negatives, because I started to realise that if anything negative happened, that's where I would just reinforce to myself, I'm a bad person, or I can't do this, I'm weak. And that's so damaging. So really, really important for me to get those thoughts out of my head and into a tangible form on paper. And the writing really helped me to deal with one thing at a time, one thought at a time. So it's almost taking the meditation to the next level. So I always come back to that when things start to feel a little out of balance. But it's really, really helpful, and it's a really great addition to the meditation. But for me, meditation is an absolute non-negotiable. Really realising that putting my mental and physical health as a priority has just changed everything. You know, if my well-being is being looked after, then it means that I'm living with ease and calm, and that just feeds off to everybody else. Everybody else feels it. You know, when you're stressed, other people can tell, and it impacts them. And actually, it just made me realise that trying to be a yes woman to everybody and completely saying no to myself did nobody any good. You know, so even though we've got such good intentions, we're not helping, we're making things so much worse. So now for me, well-being is absolute priority alongside everything else on the to-do list. It's not a nice to have, it's utterly essential. It's the only way I get beyond that negative loop of anxiety and critical self-talk. So I hope that you, if you haven't tried meditation or writing in a diary, that it might be something that you want to play around with and see if it helps you. I hope this video is helpful, and let me know how I can best help you. Have a good day.